Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have pulled out a sheet of paper from Paper House from the One Big Happy Family collection. It's got this pattern on this side and then it is a cut apart on that side. I also pulled out my floral die cuts. I have this photo of Lana, Christopher, and I shopping at the outlets, and I also have my metallic Kill-A-Kit. So let's see what I can do. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this layout and I'm thinking, okay, normally I would have the arrows that form with these diagonal lines of my paper facing down and it would be on the right hand side. So I was like, you know what, we're going to switch it up. I'm going to face it up and I'm going to put it on the left hand side. And while I am doing this, I totally go rogue and go in a completely different direction. Now I have pulled out that specialty gold paper. I do trim it down to 4.5 by 6.5 so I can have a 1/4 inch mat completely around my photo. I'm pulling out these little wood veneer pieces that have some gold on them as well. I decided to go with the real life looks like this. And then I'm just kind of going through my stuff and seeing what I can use out of my kit just to use it up. Because, you know, we are halfway through the month, a little over halfway through the month, and I still got a good amount of metallics in my kit, and I really need to use it up. So, going to work on that. And then this is where I decide, you know what, I'm going to make the stripes of the paper look like they are an arrow facing off to the left-hand side. And then I remember that I have this cork with some gold on it. So this was not in my kit, but it is on my desk. And I am basically using this all up. It's got like 2 inches left, and who knows if I'll actually use those 2 inches of cork or if it will eventually find itself into the bin. Because now it's just kind of sitting on my desk, and you never know. When something is just sitting on the desk, you just never know what's going to happen with it. So we have this over. Now the lines are not the same exact angle. They don't exactly match up with each other. I don't care. Like that, it doesn't bother me whatsoever. It's all going in the same direction, so it's cool. And then when I use that little wood veneer, the arrows are pointing in a completely different direction, so that's cool too. Like, I don't feel like I have this necessity that everything has to be in the same exact direction or it's like an utter failure. Don't feel that at all. So at first I'm going to put this wood veneer overlapping the photo a little bit because I do have a lot of space up here in the ceiling area of the photo. You might think that we were just at, you know, the Levi's store at the outlet, but we were actually in line for the Disney store, I believe, or we had just come out of the Disney store, or we were getting ready to go into the Disney store. Somehow we were getting ready to go into the Disney outlet. So I am going to pull out my florals here, and I'm trying to figure out where I want this wood veneer. Not exactly sure. I do peel off the sticky off of the back of it because it is a super sticky, and I'm afraid if I set it down on the paper, even if I set it gently down and don't push it in all the way, I'm afraid it's going to peel up the paper, and I don't want that to happen whatsoever. Now, my original thought was to decorate with these flowers kind of similarly to where the colors were. So I was going to put, you know, this blue one on the blue stripe. But then I thought, you know what? It's cool. Like this blue stripe, like this darker blue, that can move down in the page. It doesn't just have to be over here on the left-hand side. I'm bringing the pink over, so you know what? I can bring the blue over as well. So I decide to like let that chill up there a little bit. Try to figure out if I want my title up there or if I want it down here on top of the cork, and just trying to figure out also where I want this floral to go. So if you guys haven't figured it out by now, I'm a little bit squirrel when I am working on my layout. My mind moves in so many different directions at once. It's very hard to concentrate on one area. It's in life, I'm like that as well. At work, I like to have multiple projects going on at the same time, just because that's just, my mind's a little bit of a jumbled mess, but that's how it makes sense to me. I've taken multiple like personality assessments and work assessments and things like that, and sometimes that comes up in those assessments, and they basically say that I'm flaky, but I'm not. I'm not flaky. At least I don't think I'm flaky. I just like to have things going on, and like, I sound like I'm kind of bragging about my mind, don't I? Well, I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to explain why I can go from decorating to back to a title to something completely different and then back to the title, because my brain doesn't work in a straight line. My brain kind of twists and curves and moves all around. While this might be driving some of you crazy because you're like, your title isn't finished, your decorations aren't finished, like you just aren't finished. And I know that can drive some people crazy, but it does totally work in my own head. And that's what matters. Like, it's got to totally work in your own head. So if you're like me and you're kind of like all over the page with your scrapbooking and just like whatever like grabs you at the moment, that's what you're doing, then, and that's how you process your pages and your layouts and your your decoration and your text and all that kind of stuff, then do it. But if you're a person that needs to have like structure in your pages, where you're like, okay, I need to take care of my photo, then I need to take care of my title, then I need to take care of my journaling, then I need to take care of my embellishments, and then I need to take care of the finishing touches. Like, if that is the kind of scrapbooker you are, then do it. Like, whatever is going to make you happy with your pages, whatever is going to allow you to get through the pages. So many times I see scrapbookers and I hear about scrapbookers where they're like, man, it takes me hours and hours and hours to complete my page. And I'm like, well, like, is it just part of your creative process? Like, you just, like, that's how you go? And sometimes, like, that's just your process. Like, it takes you hours just to process a page, and that's fine if that's your process. But if, like, look at your process, because if you're taking hours and hours and hours because, your title's stumping you or something's stumping you, and you're just like staring at it and moving it around and you're not happy, then move on to something else. Like, set that to the side and move on with something else, and just kind of experiment and play and see what your process is. See where you feel the most creative. See where you feel the most prolific. Like, just see and just try it out. Like, if I was told I had to create a layout in step-by-step fashion, oh my word, it would drive me crazy. Which is part of the reason why layout classes, like how, like, kind of, they kind of give me that reaction. I wish you could see my face while I was doing that, because the sound just probably sounds like I'm straining, but whatever. I wish you could see that, because being told how to scrapbook kind of drives me up the friggin' wall. Like, I want to scrapbook my own way. That's what makes me happy. So anyway, I'm saying all of that just to, like, find your way. And I know that sounds lame, and you might be like, oh, Sandy, are you serious? Like, I'm a scrapbooker. Like, I know how to scrapbook. But really, like, look at it. Like, are you enjoying that part of the process? Are you enjoying being rigid? Or are you enjoying, like, being a crazy free flow kind of brain all over the place type person? Like, just not only play with products to figure out what you love, but play with your process to feel like what you love. Anyway, I'll read my journaling real quick to you, because I've had a couple of emails and comments and things that you guys want to hear it. So it says, never thought we'd be shopping at the Livermore outlets wearing masks, but here we are. Can't believe this is the norm. Used to be no shoes, no shirt, no service. Now it's no mask, no service. Even in masks, we look good. July 11th, 2020. 20. So I have mini masks layout, so I'm not going deep in my journaling. This is just a fun layout where we had fun at the outlets and we looked darn fine even though we had masks all over our faces. So there it is, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Play with your process, find out what works for you, and I will see you again real soon for another video.